The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. Glory to you, Lord. The two disciples recounted what had taken place on the way and how Jesus was made known to them in the breaking of bread. While they were still speaking about this, he stood in their midst and said to them, "Peace be with you." But they were startled and terrified and thought they were seeing a ghost. Then he said to them, "Why are you troubled? And why do questions arise in your hearts? Look at my hands and my feet, that it is I myself. Touch me and see, because a ghost does not have flesh and bones, as you can see I have." And as he said this, he showed them his hands and his feet. While they were still incredulous for joy and were amazed, he asked them, "Have you anything here to eat?" They gave him a piece of baked fish. He took it and ate it in front of them. He said to them, "These are my words that I spoke to you while I was still with you, that everything written about me in the law of Moses and in the prophets and Psalms must be fulfilled." Then he opened their minds to understand the Scriptures. And he said to them, "Thus it is written that the Christ would suffer and rise from the dead on the third day, and that repentance for the forgiveness of sins would be preached in his name to all the nations, beginning from Jerusalem. You are witnesses of these things." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
You are witnesses of these things. You are witnesses of these things. Witness of what? The resurrection. You are witnesses to those things. In the gospel, we hear a resurrection story, don't we? And this resurrection story is very vivid, very real. The disciples think that he's a ghost. And Jesus tells them, "I am not a ghost. Touch me and see. For a ghost does not have flesh and bones. And a ghost doesn't eat fish right in front of you. It's not a ghost." The resurrection is a real and physical experience that we feel in our bones and in our flesh. Jesus is showing us that the body and the spirit are not separated, but they are one. That in our resurrection, we will experience it body and spirit together. So that resurrection is true not just later, but also in our life. We walk around in the resurrection, flesh and bones. That we have experienced the resurrection in our life when we have experienced God's love. That transformation in our life when we experience God in our life. And so the question is, do we share those stories? Do we share those resurrection stories with others to give them hope, to help them to know that physically this is a reality? That the resurrection is the reality. And maybe we don't feel it in ourselves. Maybe we don't. And that's something good to talk about. Why haven't we experienced the resurrection? Why aren't we continually experiencing the resurrection in our life more and more? Today I'm going to show you a video, and it is the ACA, and the theme of the ACA this year is Tell Your Story. So we're going to hear some resurrection stories throughout the diocese of what we do as a diocese, archdiocese. So we're going to take a little bit of time to watch this.
I give to the ACA because it does so much good. Over 40 different agencies that serve people in all walks of life, all phases of their life, all over the Archdiocese, Perryville up past Troy. It's a full-service operation.
One of the most popular things that we do here is Bible study, which is like a big part of my weekly experience.
It allows us to have a parochial administrator.
It allows me to administer sacraments to the parish.
The ACA allows us to serve thousands of women and children every year.
The ACA helped me to take parenting classes that allowed me to be a better mom.
We've had young women come to us quite literally having been sleeping in a car in over 100-degree weather with an infant.
For me, the most important thing is to help students understand that it's not only about physics and chemistry and reading and writing. It's about an education in our faith, in who Jesus Christ is. And if we can get that and a little bit of physics, that's a really nice thing.
And at Cardinal Ritter, we teach students that God is the center of our university.
We've got to carry on our faith. If we didn't support the ACA, who would?
The opportunity that you all gave to me when I was a little girl, I had no choice. I had to succeed because you believed in me and I had to believe in myself.
The ACA lets us form missionary disciples.
Lay formation has assisted me in reaching out to others and praying for others and in service of my church.
I'm a new Catholic and I have learned a lot in how to pray.
Amen.
Amen. The Adoption Fund has given us the greatest gift we could have asked for, to be parents. We are in love with Claire, and she is everything to us, and it has been an amazing journey so far, and we hope to be able to do it again.
We've had international adoptions, and we've had special needs adoptions. I can't tell you how honored I am to be a part of this and how grateful I am to the ACA.
I had the opportunity of retiring 10 years ago, and so I came here to Regina Clary.
We have a graceful retirement here.
The Office of Lady and Family Life can help us reach out to separated and divorced Catholics to let them know that they can be whole again, that they can find healing through the sacraments, find healing through the church.
I'm 97 years old. This little instrument helps me participate in the Mass. I hear everything.
The ACA helps us form priests for the future.
Being with the people of God, being with the parishioners, being a part of their lives, and having them, help me to, God willing, be the priest that they need and that the people of the Archdiocese need and really do deserve.
I was able to serve 5 years in La Paz, Bolivia as a missionary.
I did not know English until I come here.
Most of the refugees came here from a war-torn and violent homeland. They came here with no English and with nothing. So we have to build from very beginning.
It is so important that these women receive this education, because to be a part of their new life here in America and to have the confidence and the conversational ability to do that. Supporting the ACA for our ministry and all the others is how we're going to be able to keep serving each other and living our Catholic faith every day.
Without the help from the ACA, the Respect Life Apostolate could not do all that it does to promote the sanctity of all human life.
Thanks to the ACA, we provide Theology on Tap to hundreds of young adults in the Archdiocese.
Thank you, ACA! Thank you, Annual Catholic Appeal.
Thanks, ACA.
Thank you, ACA. We deeply appreciate all you've done for us.
Gracias, Colecta Católica Anual.
Thanks, ACA.
Thank you, Annual Catholic Appeal.
Thank you, ACA!
Thanks, ACA.
Merci beaucoup, ACA.
Thank you, Annual Catholic Appeal.
Thank you very much, Annual Catholic Appeal.
Everyone has an important story to tell. We share stories about the day with our family, our friends, and our co-workers. We tell stories to our children about our family and our faith. Even the songs we listen to and the pictures we hang on the wall tell a story. They reveal our character, who we are, and what we believe. Our stories bind us together. They preserve our memories and teach us about life. You've just seen several stories that are all very different from one another, but together have a single common theme. They tell the real story of the Catholic Church in the Archdiocese of St. Louis. These stories reveal the Church and Christ Himself to our community and to our entire world. There are many more stories like these, too many to tell, that are made possible by your support for the annual Catholic Appeal. Please consider becoming part of this remarkable story today by making a gift to the annual Catholic Appeal. Your gift will provide food and shelter and education to our brothers and sisters who need a helping hand in every county of our Archdiocese. Thank you for your chapter in our shared story and for prayerfully considering my request. I'm deeply grateful for all of you, and as usual, I'm praying for each one of you.